Shalom.
I always like to begin my Shabbat just by, because it takes everything to get here, and then I just like to just take a deep breath and be present here in this space and with each other. And I'd like to welcome, they'll get introduced later, our shul band. So thank you for being here to add music to our service today. And we'll start with a melody because nothing warms up the soul more than singing, and particularly when you don't have to worry about the words. So a melody to warm up our souls. We're going to turn now to page 2, and I'll ask those who can comfortably do so to please rise as we bring in Shabbat with the blessing over our Shabbat lights, as we And remind ourselves that just as we light candles, one candle can light another without it losing any of its own flame, its own light. We, as human beings, we share our light and our kindness and our love with one another, and that can, without diminishing any of our own light as well. Page 2.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadliknet shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. We turn to pages 20 and 21. And as is our custom, we take a few moments to reflect on the week that has passed, pause on each day, its blessings and its challenges, and then we'll come back together for L'chadoti. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, those who can comfortably do so, I'll invite you to rise and face the doors from which we entered to welcome the Shabbat presence and the Nishama Yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat into the congregation and into our hearts. For those of you at home, I invite you to turn towards the doors of your home to bring Shabbat into your homes. L'chadoti.
Little call and response. Lechadodi,
Lechadodi,
Likrat kala,
Likrat kala,
Penei Shabbat.
Penei Shabbat,
Nikabela, Lechadodi,
Lechadodi,
Likrat kala,
Likrat kala,
Penei Shabbat,
Penei Shabbat,
Lechadoti, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabela. Lechadoti, Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat, Nikabela. Shamu lezachor b'diבור echad. Let's לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכוון אל חג, תיבחור הברכה מראש מכאן לסוכה, שמעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, עוררי, ומאורי, אורי, אורי, שתדברי, כדור אדוני עלייך מילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
Please rise if you can comfortably do so and face the doors.
Oh, he shalom, ateret bala, dam besimcha, utzola, tol kamonei, am segula, boi chala, boi chala. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
ועלמא דברה חירותי ואמליך מלכותי, וכיכון ויום יכול ובחיי לכל בית ישראל. בגלה ובזמן קריב יאמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולם היה. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר מדרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי לקודשה ייחוד לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה. Tushbechata v'nechamata ta'amiran ve'alma ve'imenu.
Amen. Continue on page 28 with Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Oh, am I awake? Am I awake? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Oh, am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada da da da.
Last three lines in the Hebrew on page 30, El Chai V'Kayam.
El Chai V'Kayam, Tamini L'Chaneinu L'Lamvaen, Baruch Atah Adonai,
Baruch Hu Baruch Shemo,
Amoriv, Aravi.
Amen. We continue on page 34 and 35, and I invite Leif Bolson to lead us.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod, Malchuto Leolam Vad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Blessed is God's glorious majesty forever and ever.
on page 36 with Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי ויתקם קדושים אלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם
Adonai Elohechem Emet.
We turn to page 40 in our Siddur for Micha Mocha, our Song of Freedom.
Adonai et Yaakov, ugalo miyad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai.
Baruch Shema.
Yal Yisrael.
Amen. Page 42, we ask the Holy One to watch over us and to protect us, to shelter us with a Sukkot Shalom, a shelter of peace, and commit ourselves to helping to spread a shelter over those that we love, over our world, to do the work for peace. Hashkivenu, page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu l'shalom.
thanks for Shabbat, we give thanks for Shabbat, for the opportunity it gives us for connection to ourselves, to each other, to the Holy One, the opportunity it gives us to breathe and to pause and to reflect. We join in singing Vishamru, page 44. Page 46, move into our Amidah. We'll sing Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach. This has been a test.
Marcus, it's my wireless that you're getting back. Okay, good.
We're going to begin with our
Can you hear me now?
Amidah.
Now. You can't hear. Oh, now you can hear me.
With our Amidah on page 46. We'll sing through Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach a few times, and then we'll rise anytime you want during that period or at the end, and then we'll continue on the next few pages. So, page 46. Here we go.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 Svatai Tifta. Na 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 Ufi Yagi. Ufi Yagi Tehilate.
Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'konei Hakol V'zocher Chasdei Avot V'imahot U'mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem Le'ma'an Shemo V'ahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch Atah Adonai Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat
Sarah. Page 50.
Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei HaKol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechalkel Chaim V'Chesed Mechayei HaKol V'Rachamim Rabim Tomech Noflim V'Rovech Olim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayem Emnato B'Shenei Afar Micha Mocha Baal Gevurot U'Mido Melach Melech Memid U'Mechayed U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai
Mechayeh HaKol. Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai
Baruch Shemo
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer for the text of your own heart. When you're through, you may be seated.
So when it comes time for announcements, you'll hear about an event next Sunday at TBI connected with renewal of the Jewish community of Poland. This has been an effort that we've been engaged in for many years here at Temple Beth Israel, led by Rabbi Chaim Dov-Biliak, the former Hillel rabbi, or rabbi at of the community at the Claremont colleges. He got us engaged, let's say, and people like Jerry Fenning, who are here, and Marilyn Lubarsky, Zichrona Livracha, and along with Rabbi Kupitz, and our board of trustees have supported that. And one of the impacts of that has been a number of Polish individuals who have come to the U.S. to study. Some have become rabbis. One such individual is Menachem Mirsky, who's now the rabbi of Temple Beth Shalom in Long Beach. But while he was a student, and even before that, he was a guest here and part of our shul band. So this is one of the big gifts. The gifts that Menachem left our community. We just call it Menachem's Nigun. The words are pretty easy if you want to join in. Kind of has a Disney-esque feel. It's not quite Rum Tum Tigger, but pretty close. Yum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Ba-dum 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 bum bum. Yum bum 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 ba-dum. Yum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Ba-dum 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 bum. Yum bum 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 ba-dum bum bum ba-dum bum bum bum. Yum bum 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 bum.
So I'm going to do something a little bit different this evening as I talk about this week's parasha, this week's portion. I'm going to kind of give you a little overview, and then I'm going to talk three mini lessons or three mini reflections on three parts of this portion. So one of my favorite pieces in Torah begins this Torah portion, or almost it's near the beginning. It says, it starts, Vayetze Yaakov mi Beersheva vayelech Haran. It says he left Beersheva and he went toward Haran. And then he has this dream on his journey. You know, he goes to bed like most of us when he's not comfortable. He puts a rock under his head because, you know, that's going to make it more comfortable. He uses it as a pillow. And then he has this dream of angels going up and down a ladder. Then God blesses him, and Jacob names the place Bethel, house of God. So that's kind of scene one. Then scene two, Jacob works. He's going to find a wife. He works 7 years for Lavan to marry Rachel, but instead, after he wakes up the next morning after his wedding night, he says, surprise, it's Leah in his bed and not Rachel. The older sister is the one who he married, and then he has to work another 7 years, right, for the other sister. Then Leah, Rachel, and their maidservants, Bilhah and Zilpah, give birth to 11 sons and 1 daughter. The 12th son will come in a future Torah portion. And then Jacob and his family leave Laban's household with great wealth, with what they've gathered over these years. So that's sort of the big piece that is there. I think about this portion. One of my favorite parts of the Torah portion of the Torah is this dream, if that's what it is, that Jacob has. There's a sulam, muskav arza, with its bottom on the ground and its top into heaven. Sulam is one of these words that we always translate as ladder, but it doesn't appear anywhere else in the Torah. So it's a hapax legomenon. That's okay. So thank you, Cantor. So we don't really know. I mean, it's some kind of, staircase, ladder, ramp, right? Whatever you want to say, some kind of linkage between heaven and earth. And one of the things that, I love is he's asleep. He has this dream, and he wakes up, and he says, Achein, yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh ve'anochi lo yadati. He says, wow, God was certainly in this place. God is certainly in this place, and I did not know it, right? And I think that line can be a key, right, to religious life, to finding holiness, right, in our life, which is to say that really, in many ways, almost in any place, God is in this place, but we do not know it. How do we uncover the holiness that abides in our lives in these everyday moments? And Judaism is all about trying to do that, is all about trying to sanctify the mundane, sanctify the everyday. That's why we have blessings for everything. We have blessings for, really everything. I mean, doesn't mean we all say them for everything, but they're there, right? If you want them, you get a drink of water, there's a blessing. You have a piece of food, there's a dressing. You eat a grape, you see a rainbow, there's a dressing. You meet a really wise person, there's a blessing. You meet there's a blessing pretty much for everything, right? There is a blessing there because we can recognize that in every moment there's a potential for holiness. There's a potential for gratitude. I think it's, so that story, and then it says, Zeh, after that, there's another couple of lines after he says, wow, and then he says, Zeh sha'ar hashamayim, this is surely a gateway to heaven. right? So I just think about, like, what are the gateways that sometimes are there before us all the time in different places in our lives that we sometimes perhaps we knowingly or unknowingly walk through, and sometimes we miss altogether, and we don't know that they're there. I think the Jacob story with Rachel and Leah is a fascinating story because we read it here. One of the challenges of sometimes talking about a parsha is that each week is that we lose sometimes a literary thread, right, that runs through the Torah. We've been in this whole piece that started with the birth last week of Jacob and Esau and really runs through the end of the book of Genesis, which is all about recognition and deception. It's a thread that runs throughout this part of the book of Genesis, right? Jacob just fooled his, he's old now, but there's a lot of years in this from portion to portion here. But when he was a kid, he got his brother to sell him his birthright, and then he tricked his father to bless him instead. And he even, his mother helps him. He puts hairy fur on his arms because his brother's a hairy guy. And so when his father, who's blind, goes like this, he says, oh, the voice is Jacob, but the arms, they're those of, the body is that of Esau, right? And he gives Jacob Esau's blessing. So there's a great midrash in Midrash Rabbah of the story of Jacob, right? Because Jacob is now deceived in this Torah portion, right? He worked 7 years for Rachel. And, the story goes, I think you should know, you'd figure it out. But the story goes that, Leah had a very, a dark veil, I guess, and got married, and then they, went to the marital chamber, and it wasn't until the morning that he realized, wrong woman here. And in Midrash Rabbah, it has Jacob saying, how could you have fooled me like that? I mentioned your name so many times, and when we got married, and when we went back to my house, I mentioned your name, and you responded. You didn't say, oh, this isn't Rachel, this is Leah. And she said, wasn't it you who said, yes, it's me, Esau, right, to your father? So she has somehow this knowledge, right, in the Midrash, not in the Torah, right, that, hey, look, this is a little bit of a turnabout on you, right? You deceived your father, and I deceived you, right? And we have this continuing through the book. We have, Jacob's own children, when they throw Joseph in a pit, are going to come with a bloody tunic and say, see this tunic, and they're going to basically tell their dad, they don't use those words, but Joseph has been eaten by a wild beast, right? And that he's dead. Later, Joseph's going to deceive his father as well. Not telling him that he's alive at a later date when he has the power to do that. There's all this kind of stuff that goes on. And when his brothers come to Egypt, he says to them, he recognizes them, but they don't recognize him, right? There's all this stuff of things that are hidden and deception and things that are recognized. And that continues to play out throughout the Torah portion. And then Jacob leaves his family's household. So he stays 14 years with Laban. But he does leave because he's gotten to keep a share of all the things that he's done, all the sheep and the stuff. He leaves with great wealth. And then we say, stay tuned. And we will continue the story. And I hope as we carry on this week, I guess what I'd ask you to keep in kind of, if you got to take a nugget, is to think about Yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, achein Yesh Adonai b'makom hazeh, ve'anochi lo yadati. Wow, right? There is God, there is holiness, there is great potential in this place. And I did not know it. And to try to, how do we see the world How do we put on our holiness glasses, right? Like, woo! Something new. And see the world in a different way. Shabbat Shalom. We are now going to turn to page 253 in our Siddur and turn our thoughts to all of those in our lives, in our community, in need of healing, of body, of mind, and of spirit.
Blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days. Bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayers as we say their names. Akadosh.
We ask for blessings upon Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Helen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Robert Strober, Lori Snyder, Charity Rezadeh, Gloria Foster, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Found Gerard, Jan Marcus, Al Shapiro, Robert Waldman, Udit Gratz DeLange, Deborah DeLange, James Stead, Stephen Gilbert, Bill Hughes, Ed Means, Stan Stein, Virginia Guzman, Suzette Guzman, Marilyn Rudin, Sandy Gunn, Faye Bernstein, Sandra Dizengoff, Sherry Mosley, Jeff Blackie, Mike Friel, John Ramirez, John Foster, Larry Meir, Susan Goldstein, Karen Nelson, Mickey Pollack, Larry Gassner, Marsha Lloyd, Terry Lloyd, Fred Rosenblum, Sharon Everett, Mark Kramer, Stacy Martin, Anthony Juarez, and in a new month in both our calendars. Last week I said it was Machar Chodesh. It was the beginning of the month of Kislev, starting the next day, which is the month that Hanukkah falls in. And it's, of course, the month of December, our first Shabbat of December. And as is our custom, if we have birthdays in a month, we like to acknowledge them on the first Shabbat of the month. So do we have any December birthdays here? I see some people, there's a December birthday. Okay, any other December birthdays? December birthdays? Okay, great. If you have a December birthday, come gather in the center aisle. If you are able to help me hold a birthday canopy, because you don't have to be tall, just not really short. Are you holding? That's great. Here we go. All right, come on up. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Well, I hope that, if people have already had their birthdays, I hope they were nice. And if you're going to have your birthday, I hope it's great. But more importantly than your birthday is that it's a year of health and of blessing and of connection to spirit and to community and of growth of mind and a year of blessing for all of you and any of you at home who have December birthdays. Blessings for you as well. And we'll offer the blessing of our tradition to each of you, blessings of wholeness and of peace. May God bless you and may God keep you. May God's light shine into you and through you to others. May God always be compassionate unto you. May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find shalom, wholeness, and peace in your heart, in your community. May you join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. And we say together, Amen. Thank you. So we have in our ongoing collaboration between Temple Beth Israel and Mark Feynman, even from Oceanside, we have birthday pencils. They say on them, for those whose Hebrew isn't great, they say Yom Huledet Sameach. They say happy birthday. And then, just to make it easier for in the chocolate itself, it says happy birthday in English. So we translate it for you. And you can all take one, and if you don't eat them, you can sell them on the black market. There you go. There you go. Sure. Now we're going to sing you out. Here we go. Yom Huledet Sameach. Yom Huledet Sameach. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All my helpers, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yom Huledet Sameach.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
A few thank yous and some announcements. Thank you to Rabbi Kupitz and to Cantor Bush. Cantor, very glad to see that you were able to thaw out in time for Shabbat tonight.
I wore very warm clothes.
That's good. Thank you to Reed Gretzdelang and the wonderful Shul Band for your marvelous music here this evening. Thank you to our greeters, to Kylie, to Sharon, to Judy, and to Vicky. And let me just say that if you have not yet seen Vicky's fingernails, ask her in the Oneg. There's something. After services, we gather in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, and refreshments. Please take an opportunity during Oneg to get to know somebody and to greet one another and to help us build our warm, personal Jewish community. And now a few announcements. The first one is one that you already heard from the cantor, and that is this coming Sunday, December.
No, it's a week from.
Oh, is that this Sunday? Next Sunday.
It's the 18th, isn't it?
You're right, 2 weeks. Not this Sunday. Come this Sunday too, for other things, but come the next Sunday on December 15th at 9 a.m. To meet and hear from Professor Jan Maklas Frankowski, who is the president of the congregation in Gdansk, Poland, to learn more about Jewish life in Poland and particularly the liberal Jewish community in that country. The event, again, will start a week from Sunday at 9 a.m. in the Beit Midrash, and bagels and lox will also be served. Secondly, then on Wednesday, December 18th, Temple Beth Israel is holding a blood drive between 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. There are flyers with more information in the social hall. Please pick one up. And you can reserve your time by going to the Red Cross website, or you can also just show up as a walk-in. And then finally, December 27th will be our Shabbat Hanukkah service here in the sanctuary. So please bring your Hanukkiot to help illuminate, to give light to our sanctuary and to lighten the darkness and to help celebrate a wonderful festival. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Gary. I think just one other aspect of the Sunday event next week. The first hour will be an opportunity to get to know our colleagues from Poland, but the second hour, there is a webinar based on the scholarship of another one of the participants who will be with us virtually on, who has written and studied extensively the role of the Polish people during the Holocaust, and he's going to be able to share that as well. We also have our Festival of Jewish Music, sponsored by our Jewish Federation, right here in our sanctuary on the 20th, I believe. That following Sunday, we will be here at 3 p.m. for the Festival of Jewish Music. I want to give a special shout out to the Shul Band, to Chris Gacci, and to Jeff Klein on percussion, to Ed Beardsley on bass, Al Shapiro on sax, Reed Gratz has already been mentioned, and a special welcome to our newest member. Ladies and gentlemen, it's his first time with us, so let's give him a great big Natilat Yadayim to Dr. Steve Rausch, and we're so thrilled that he is going to be joining us, assuming he is okay with coming back after after tonight. We certainly will welcome him if he does decide that. So thank you.
So we're going to move toward the conclusion of our service. We turn to page 282 in the middle of the page for Aleinu L'Shabeach. Ask everybody who can comfortably do so to please rise.
Aleinu L'Shabeach Ladon Hakol Lateit Gedula Leotzer Breshit Shelo Asanu Kigoye Haratso Velo Samanu Kemishbechot Hadama שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לבני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Page 294. We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We hold them in our hearts and in our minds. We remember the recent deaths of Dr. Edward Desatnik, father of Brian Desatnik, of Ted Toback, father of Scott Toback, Robert Donin, son of Jackie, Ivan Flores, friend of Jody Koyman, Joel Beasy, husband of Janet Beasy. We remember the Yortsites. Oh, we also remember the recent death of Ginny Schoenwetter. We remember the Yortsites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Lillian Abrams, Yale Bellenkoff, Herman Bleich, Manuel Blumenfeld, Jeanette Burgle-Broner, Jeanette Brooks, Gary Brown, Morris Caden, Sadie Deutsch, Ethel Dubin, Morton W. Feynman, Helen Fink, Philip Finkelstein, Jerry Fitzgeralds, Goldie Friedman, Harry Friedman, Dwayne Grove, Harold E. Horwitz, Thomas Kalb, Shirley Esther Karnofsky, Melvin Lipset, Leon Miller, Jane Goodman O'Doul, Harry Ranich, Mark Rhodes, Jerry Robinson, Lillian Sachs, Evelyn Schwartz, Sylvia Schwartz, Karen Sorois, Rosamund Spicer, Kathy Wainstock, Elliot David Wine, Sally Wexler, Ellen Wohl, Harry Wohl, and Albert Zipser. If you're remembering somebody on this Shabbat and would like to add a name to those that I've listed or restate a name that I've listed, please feel free to do so as I come by your row. If you're in a time of mourning or observing a yortzeit on the Shabbat, I invite you to please rise. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise in embrace and support of those who mourn. Kaddish is on page 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, b'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, b'agalav v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei almaya, V'yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitpa'ar, v'yitromam, v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal, shmeidu kudusha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, ta'amiram bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael tetevel v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We'll conclude with Biado, which you'll find the last stanza on page 321. My soul I give to you.
My soul I give.
My spirit in your care.
My spirit in your care.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not
Hold me in your hand.
hold me in your hand.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not
Safely in your hand.
safely in your
My soul I give to you. My soul I give to you. My spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Beyado afkid ruchi. Beyado afkid ruchi. Eitishan ve'ya'ira. Ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira. Ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li lo ira. For those of you who joined us online, thank you so much for being with us. Shabbat Shalom. For all of you in the sanctuary, please join us in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, refreshments. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.